Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well. Yeah, I've had my break. Thank you to all of you who sent me messages regarding Mum. She's doing a lot better. She's looking an awful lot better, I have to say. Has more energy than she's had for a while. But she's just still taking it very easy. She's been told for the first month not to push anything, so she's doing what she's told, which is good. She goes out for at least one or if not two wee walks a day, and is building up how far she walks, so that's good. But yes, it was very unexpected, pretty scary. Um, you know, because it was like there was talk of open heart surgery and things like that. So it was like, we had to make major decisions, and it was Mum's decision in the end what she decided to go for. She went for a stent, and that was her decision. Dad and I backed her. For her, it was the best option. So yes, so that's kind of been the last fortnight. Has just been sort of dealing with that, getting Mum home, just getting into a new routine for things like medication and eating. We find that at night she doesn't have a fairly, her appetite has almost not gone, but it's not as good as it is at midday. So we kind of switched our main meals around, that we now have our main meal at lunchtime, and that is proving to be really good. She's eating a lot more, than she would have done if we'd kept it at like 5 o'clock, 5:30. So that's really, really good. And as I say, she's doing some walks, and we're going out. Once I've recorded this, I'm going to leave my editing and everything and uploading until we come back. We're going to go out for a cuppa. So I think this will be the second time we've had her out for a cuppa since she came home from hospital. So that's good. That is really, really nice. So reading wise, actually, I did pretty well. I've got a number of books that I read. Well, sorry, I'm disappearing. Hold on. Yeah, I read a number of books since the beginning of the month. This month, reading wise, has been slower, but I really don't mind. I didn't read that much while I was in the hospital with Mum. I couldn't settle, to be honest. I couldn't settle to read, couldn't settle to do anything. So, so this is kind of what I've read over the last 2 weeks or so. So I read The Chalet School Returns to the Alps by Lisa Townsend. This is a fill-in. This comes in at I think it's number 30 in the series. This is the one after it, and really, really enjoyed this. So in this story, we get the story of Sue Meadows, who comes to the Chalet School because her cousin has TB and is at the sanatorium, but she doesn't have TB in her lungs. It seems to be in her bones. So Sue comes as a day pupil, and it's the story of her settling in to the Chalet School, and the Chalet School sort of making allowances for the fact that she has to sort of be a companion to her cousin, because her cousin won't go into the actual sanatorium itself. She just won't do it, and her mum is not pushing it. So we got that. So it was really nice to get that sort of a backstory for Sue. And then we also got the story of Nancy Wilmot, who was in the Chalet School while it was in the Tyrol. She comes back to be a mistress, and it's how she settles back into her old school as a mistress. And it was really, really interesting. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a really good fill-in. It was a very good fill-in. Excuse me a minute. Then I read The Shadow Sister by Lucinda Riley. This is number 3 in the Seven Sisters story. This is Star's story, which takes us to London, takes us to Kent, I think it is. Also to the Lake District. Bits about Beatrix Potter. I'm not going to say much about it, but it was a really good book. It was lovely to see Star coming into her own, having her own voice, not being in Cece's shadow all the time. And it was interesting to see how the two of them, how their lives just, not drifted apart, but how their lives separated, which I think will be good for both sisters. But no, thoroughly enjoyed this one. took me a wee bit longer to read than I expected, but I kind of had that one at the hospital, so I wasn't kind of reading that much of it, as it were. I then picked up Nothing Ventured by Jeffrey Archer. I'm not going to say much about this one because this is to do with a project I have got going that I will explain once it's finished, so I'll tell you about that later on. Then read A Christmas Celebration by Heidi Swain. I love this one. This one was really, really good. So, excuse me. Yeah, I'm very tired. So, this one we meet Paige. Now, Paige has been away in Jordan. She worked for a refugee camp and an agency that worked within the refugee camps. But she ends up losing her job and she comes back. She was just going to come home and live in her parents' house, but her parents are away on a cruise, I think it is. And her father just says to her, why don't you go to Winthrop Hall and be with your godfather and godmother? They're needing some help because their sons and are away and they need help to cover some of the duties. So Paige is like, yeah, fine, come. So she comes down and she ends up taking over like the library book run, the veggie run, the prescription delivery service run as well. So she does that, and she also helps set up Winthrop Hall for the Christmas celebrations and everything. It was beautifully written. Thoroughly enjoyed being back in this series, in this setting. I've got all of the Winthrop Hall books and I absolutely adore them. They are so good, and the character you keep meeting recurring characters, which is really nice because you learn more about what they're doing and how their lives have turned out. So yeah, I've been really pleased to read that one. I then picked up Flight of a Chalet Girl by Katherine Bruce. This one is like the 16th book, and then this one comes after it. So in this one we meet Elsa Vita again, who's the Crown Princess of Belsornia. She came to the Chalet School in book 3, and then came back as well in another couple of books. But this is set during the Second World War. The Anschluss has happened in Austria, so the Chalet School has moved to Guernsey and then to Armford in Wales. And Vita and her family need to get out of Belsornia. And this is the story of how they get from there to Armford, how the people they meet, the trials and tribulations they went through. It was beautifully, beautifully written, really atmospheric. It was a page turner. I wanted to know what happened next. So yeah, I would, if you're a Chalet School person, you haven't read this one, seriously pick this one up. And then I read two, so got my bookmark in there. Okay, never mind. Then I read two categories. So I read A Christmas Bargain by Mindy Obenhaus. Really enjoyed this one. So we meet a single mother, Annalise, and she has inherited a Christmas tree farm in Texas, and she will do whatever she wants this to succeed. Her parents sell it, you'll make money. Her parents seem to be very much money orientated, and you got to live in a big house, etc., etc. But Annalise doesn't want that for herself nor her daughter, and so they come to Texas, and it's the story of her setting up the Christmas tree farm with her neighbour Hawkins Prescott. There are reasons why he gets involved, and his family, she becomes involved with his family as well. It was beautifully written, really, really enjoyed it. So if for next Christmas you're looking for a Christmas book, I would say definitely pick yourself this one up. And then last night I finished Rivals at Love Creek by Michelle Lindo Rice. This is the first book in the 7 Brides for 7 Brothers series. I really enjoyed this. So we meet Shanna. Now Shanna is the principal of the local high school, but it's been rocked by an admission by one of its students that they cheated on their SATs. But this student wasn't the only one, there were others as well. And Shanna is had been wanting to go for the superintendent's post. But of course that now is very much questionable. And she ends up having to work with Lynx Harrington. Now Lynx also runs, he is principal of the other high school, I think, or middle school. And they end up having to work together. And there's just, she used to fancy him in high school, he fancied her, they went out, something happened, and they split. So it's, do they trust each other? Do they not trust each other? It was really well written. Sorry friends, I am just, I need a nap. But yeah, it's like, do they trust each other? Do they not trust each other? Various things are going on in Shanna's life as well. So really, really enjoyed it. Really well written, and I think I will definitely be going on with this series. I want to check something. Oh, the Christmas Bargain is part of a Hope Crossing romance. So I definitely want to read more because I like the characters and the setting. I would like to know more about them. And then I've picked up for Amish and April, Her Amish Legacy by Tracey J. Lyons and Patricia Davis. So the one I'm reading just now is A Love for Lizzie by Tracey J. Lyons. Really enjoying it. I read about 5.5 chapters last night. Yeah, I'm halfway through chapter 5 of the first story. So really, really enjoying that as well. I'm also reading on my Kindle. I've got a review book that comes out in the middle of May and I want to get it read now. Was it Lady Amelia's Scandalous Secret? I can't remember who the author is. I will put the cover in the thumbnail. So yeah, so you'll get that. So that's kind of what I've been reading and what I am going to be reading this weekend. I have a bit of a book haul. Yeah. First ones I'm going to show you are books that I ordered for myself. These are books that I wanted to get in order to complete, well, so I have more books in series that I'm reading. So the first one I got was The Pearl Sister by Lucinda Riley. This is number 4. So this is Cece's story. So it's basically an immediately follow on to The Storm Sisters. So that's great because I have the other ones up there. So that's really good. So I was pleased to get that. I'd read 2 of the Lucky Harbour series by Jill Shalvis. Needed the third one. So I got myself Head Over Heels by Jill Shalvis. So that will really help me read more of that series. I read the first 2 in the Buckhorn Montana series. So I bought myself number 3, At the Crossroads by B.J. Daniels. I've been really, really enjoying this series and I'm looking forward to it. And then I've read book 3 of the Wild Rose Sisters book. So I've got one of the first 2, and this is First Comes Baby. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. So, as I say, that was just helping me out with series that I want to continue on with. Then on what day? Wednesday. It was a lovely day, and Martin and I decided we were going to go down to Alnwick, and I took some books back. I couldn't help myself, guys. I brought more. I brought myself back some more that Mum and I will read them both together. So we're really going to look forward to them. So the first one I picked up is Christmas at Cedarwood Lodge by Rebecca Raisin. I've read a couple of Rebecca Raisin's. I read them as e-arcs and really, really enjoyed them. So I decided that I wanted to pick up more of hers, and I saw this one. I thought, I've got to have it. So it says, after years of dreaming, Cleo Winters is finally renovating the gorgeous Cedarwood Lodge and turning it into the perfect destination for celebrations, weddings, and extravagant birthday parties. So I like books about like home renovations, house renovations, so that is going to be really good. I saw this one, and this one was, I'd heard people talk about this author. I've never heard about this book. And I thought, oh, I like the cover. I read the back of it and thought, the main character in this book is a glass artist. And I thought, yes, definitely got to read that. So this is Rain Shadow Road by Lisa Kleypas. So it says, Lucy Marin is a glass artist living in beautiful, inspiring Friday Harbor, Washington. Creatively fulfilled and in love, she is content with her life until she is done by the worst kind of betrayal. Her boyfriend Kevin announces he's leaving Lucy to be with her younger sister. So this could be really interesting. So I just thought, right, definitely, since it's an author that I don't know, I thought I'm going to try it. Then I got another Heidi Swain, Sunshine and Sweet Peas in Nightingale Square. I've read a couple of the Nightingale Square books and really enjoyed them, so I'm more than happy to have another one on my list. I'm getting quite the collection of Heidi Swain. Then I saw this Nora Roberts, and I've never read it, and it's Midnight Bayou, and again it's to do with restoring something to its former, a hall to its former glory, and I thought, yeah, I just have to read this. And then I found a Mills and Boon bind-up by 3 authors. So I got A Western Christmas Homecoming by Lynna Banning, Laurie Robinson and Katherine Albright. I've read Laurie Robinson before, but that's the only one. So I just thought, right, I'm going to pick that up for my Mills and Boon Harlequin collection. So those are the books that I got from barter. Today, my book mail was Sarah Morgan's Summer Wedding, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. This will be my this will be my next physical book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then last month I read and reviewed Montana Cowboy Bride by Jane Porter and absolutely loved it. I'm really lucky to be on her review crew, and I am just so blessed to be on that. And I sort of said, I texted her once with all my links and everything. I went, yeah, I'm going to go and get the rest of the series now. And she went, I'd really like to send them to you. And she did. And I now have in my collection Montana Cowboy Romance, Montana Cowboy Christmas, Montana Cowboy Daddy, Montana Cowboy Miracle, and Montana Cowboy Promise. So I cannot thank Jane Porter enough for her generosity in sending me those books. Mum and I are just going to really enjoy reading them. I really like Jane's way of writing and her characters, so that is going to be just so good. So that is my kind of wrap up for the last couple of weeks, my major book haul. I can hear you saying you're going to stop buying more books, and the answer to that is no. I've got I'm going to pre-order the new Kathy Reichs. That has to be a pre-order. And then I've got 2 books that I need to order for middle grade May that I'm going to be buddy reading with my friend Beth Tyree from Soul Stained Ink. So I've got to reorder those. I think at that point it will be right, okay, I've got enough to keep me going through like the summer. And then I will sort of start amassing some more for autumn winter. But yeah, I am really chuffed with that, guys. I am just, really pleased with all the books I've got, and I am really looking forward to reading all of them. I know I've still got some up there from like the beginning of the year that I haven't read yet, but that's fine. It gives me lots of possibilities that I can just read as I want. So that's really lovely. So that's it for this video. It's a bit longer than normal, but I hope you don't mind. Please let me know down in the comments, what books have you read? Have you read any of the books that I have mentioned? If so, what did you think of them? No spoilers, please. But yeah, are there any that you've seen that you fancy reading? If I haven't read them, then if you want to buddy read them, please let me know in the comments. That'd be great. What are your plans for the weekend? Mine, we've got rugby tonight and tomorrow, so that's fine. I'm virtually up on all the laundry in the house. I've got one load to do tomorrow. That's it. That's great. I've I've got enough bread. Don't need to do bread because I made bread and rolls this week. So it's just I now sort of start to think, right, what do I need to do next week in the way of household chores and stuff like that. I think I'm going to spend some time this weekend on meal planning, and possibly do some prep, just to make things a bit easier in the mornings. So I'll probably do that, but I'll be reading. Oh, the one thing I did want to show you, if I can do this way. I finished my crochet blanket on my bed. So there you go. Really pleased with it. So yeah, so that big project is finished. I have my cardigan to put together. I've got all the pieces. I just need to sew it together. So I will possibly spend time. Maybe Mum will give me a wee bit of a helping hand to do that. Maybe this weekend if I feel like it. I'm putting my crochet hook to the side now. I'm going to pick up my needle and I'm going to start doing some cross stitch and embroidery, which I'm really looking forward to. I've got one project in mind at the moment that I want to do before the summer. I'll let you see it once it's done. But yeah, I'm going to do that. It'll be nice just to pick up my needle and my threads and do some cross stitch. That'll be really nice. I may actually also start making baubles for friends for Christmas, so that I'm not I've spread the load out, so I'm not having to, oh God, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. So I think I might start doing things like that as well. So, just start doing that prep, because it's the 21st of April. Before you know it, it's going to be, the turn in the year, as it were. And it will be the head towards Christmas, but, that's a wee while away. Couple of weeks ago, actually it's only about 6 weeks away. That is seriously scary. Yeah, it's only about 6 weeks. That's mad. Where is this year going, guys? It just seems to be flying by. So yeah, so please let me know, as I say, what you're reading, what your plans are for the weekend. But until my next video, friends, I want to say, I know I've picked up some new subscribers recently. Thank you very much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. And I hope you'll continue to stick around and watch my videos and chat with me in the comments. That'd be really good. If you haven't subscribed yet and you would like to, please hit that subscription bell on the way down and the notification bell. You'll be told when I put out new videos. But until my next video, friends, stay safe. Happy reading. Bye.